So, Hazbin Hotel. A very popular show on Prime Video written by Vivziepop about the Princess of Hell trying to redeem those gone bad. And also the internet's personal punching bag. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't laugh at the jokes from time to time, they can definitely be funny, a lot of the time they are. But I won't lie and say that I don't think the mainstream hate for it doesn't feel a little forced. Not in the way that others aren't allowed to dislike it, but more, if you tell someone you like this show, you'll either get weird looks, blamed, get told you have trash taste, or all three. That's where the problem lies, and that's what the topic of this video is gonna be. People need to know it's okay to like this, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Hazbin Hotel is one of my personal favorite shows, and yet, I can admit the many flaws and problems the show has. Many will rebuke this by saying, if you know it's not the best thing ever made, why do you love it so much? Well, to that I say, learn to find enjoyment in flawed media. What's the most important thing when it comes to liking a show for you? Many of you may say good writing, interesting characters, high quality animation or shots, and while Hazbin isn't devoid of these by any means, the most important thing when deciding whether I like something is the enjoyment I get out of it. Was I entertained? Did I have a good time watching this? Did I like the characters? Would I ever come back to watch this again? For me, the answer for all these questions was an astounding yes when it came to Hazbin Hotel. Sure, the writing may be questionable at times. Yes, the show is rushed to pack a lot into 8 episodes, leaving some plot lines to be resolved a bit too quickly, but at the end of the day, if you're getting enjoyment out of it, that's all that really matters. I'm willing to bet a lot of people that hate on the show haven't actually seen it and just hate on it because it's the cool thing to do. Which, fair, I've definitely done that before. But that doesn't mean you should want the funding to be cut to give other shows more budget. Now look, I love Invincible as much as the next guy, it's one of my favorite shows, and I want more budget to be put in it as well. But some of these guys on Instagram, for example, are genuinely upset that Hazbin has the funding that Invincible has. And they think it impacts Invincible. So, like and subscribe if you enjoy, and for those of you who haven't actually watched the show, let me give you some reasons why it gets the hate it does, and why I and many others find it so enjoyable. First, I think it's important to establish why a lot of people hate it, because if I show all these flaws, acknowledge them, and still love it, I can show what I mean by finding enjoyment within the flaws. The first and biggest reason, by far actually, is the fan base. You might expect me to push back on this, but no, genuinely the fandom is horrible, I won't deny that. And I've been a part of some bad fandoms. This applies to its sister show, Hell of a Boss, as well, and while it's worth mentioning I'm not the biggest fan of Hell of a Boss, and this video isn't about it, I can still help explain my points about Hazbin because they're similar in a lot of ways. Anyways, I'm sure you've seen the memes of the dude wearing the Luna hoodie in public, all the comments are flaming him, or maybe you've seen the fan merch being made of corny one-liners, or something like that. If this is your first impression of the show, I can't blame you for thinking it's a cringe fest. Yeah, these don't give the most amazing first impressions. Now, do these people deserve the hate they get? No, definitely not. These people are just expressing their love for something. And while it's fine to think it's cornball activities, it becomes less fine when you start to barrage them with hate comments and bullying. That's not what I mean when I say the fanbase is horrible though. What I'm talking about is the unholy amount of toxicity within it. Not just towards other fans, but towards the creator herself. Many are pushed away from watching Hazbin Hotel because they see the fandom and the way it treats each other. Let me give you an example. There's a character in Hazbin Hotel called Valentino. He's pretty universally hated for being abusive, manipulative, a creep, just an overall terrible person. He's a pretty good villain though, and that's fine if you don't like him, you're obviously not supposed to. What's not fine is what many fans did. Going to the voice actor for the character and harassing them because they don't like the fictional character they played. Obviously the voice actor isn't like this in real life, please get a life, he did an amazing job. This kind of toxicity is what makes so many people put off by the show and reluctant to watch it. We need to do better. Beyond the fandom though, let's talk about why people who did watch the show have problems with it. First is the pacing. This is an issue that will likely be solved in future seasons. It was hard for Vivziepop to fit the entire season into 8 episodes. She didn't know if it would be greenlit for more, meaning a lot of it can feel rushed. For example, Charlie forgives Lucifer for years of neglect in 1 episode. Yes, this is in character for her, she's always looking for the good in people who don't deserve it, That's kind of the point of the show, but for a father-daughter relationship, this probably should have taken a little longer. Lucifer's not like a super terrible dude in the show, and it's more of him just being a bad dad, so it wouldn't feel out of character for Charlie to take longer to forgive him. It's not like he needs to be redeemed. Next, let's talk about the swearing and overly adult humor. Yeah, it can be a bit much. They swear basically every sentence. The written by Vivziepop meme is not a joke, that's genuinely how it feels a lot of the time. Just like every single joke is about sex. Every single one. Especially with this guy, Angel Dust. Personally, it doesn't bother me that much, but I can definitely see why it may get on some people's nerves, putting off some people from watching it. Next, let's talk about the LGBTQ representation. A complaint I've seen is that basically every character across both shows, Hazbin and Helva, are part of the LGBT community. And just to get this out there, that's not true, there are some straight characters, but we'll humor this for a second. Charlie is bisexual, Vaggie is lesbian, Husk is pansexual, Angel Dust is gay, I believe, Alistair is aroace, etc. Please correct me if I got any of those wrong, by the way. Obviously, I have no problem with this, and while I get the complaints of it being overly shoved in your face sometimes, if you don't watch something because it's gay and that's it, that's a little bit of a problem in my opinion. Kind of feels a little homophobic. But I don't know the people who say that, so obviously I can't assume they're all homophobic. Finally, let's talk about the art style and character designs. This is something that can put many people off. If they don't like looking at the art, they won't watch something, and that's just how it is. This is why I don't watch One Piece, for example. Story's fine, in fact from what I've seen it's really good, but the art style, it just isn't for me, I'm not a big fan of it. Live action is fire though. Anyway, back to Hazbin, there have been many criticisms on it, including but not limited to, basically every character being skinny and tall, many characters having overly complicated designs for no reason, which a lot of people have a problem with because of how hard it would be for the animators to animate, some characters being overly sexualized, especially in merchandise, the colors being too bright and making it hard to focus, which goes with the color red being used a lot. Now, obviously there's a lot more than just that, but those are the main ones that people have issue with that I've seen. I personally really love the art style, it's one of the main things that drew me to the show, but if this is your reason for not liking the show, that's totally valid, I get it. Again, the problem only begins to pop out once you go out of your way to send hate to the fans of it, which, let's be honest, a lot of people do. Whoa, that's a lot of problems. Even if I don't agree with them all, how could I possibly consider this one of my favorite shows of all time? Well, it comes back to what I said before. Just because critically it may not be the best show ever made, from a personal enjoyment standpoint, I just like watching this more than most other shows out there. This is what I mean when I say find enjoyment in flawed media. Let me give you some examples of what makes this show so enjoyable for me and a large fan base it's attracted. First is the extremely fun and lovable cast of characters. When it comes to a show and my enjoyment of it, nothing matters more to me than the characters. It can have an amazing plot, but characters that I don't love that much and it won't get as high a score. Similarly, if something has a mediocre plot but top tier characters that I fall in love with, I'll give it a 10, and that's how I feel about Hazbin. Pretty much every single main character has something about them that's enjoyable. I'll go over some of my personal favorites. First, there's Charlie herself, the main character. Honestly, her bubbly personality and drive to do the right thing makes it hard not to love her, and I'm always rooting for her. Her ideology of second chances and forgiveness lines up with mine, so that's another thing. Second, there's Sir Pentious. Honestly, he's just funny, he's a big old goof, but also he starts off in the beginning as sort of a villain, a joke villain really, not like menacing in any way, but still a villain. He tries to destroy the hotel and spy on the others, but after being caught, is given a second chance, and is able to completely redeem himself by the end, making it to heaven. Adam similarly makes me laugh whenever he's on screen, and unlike Pentious, he's just terrible the whole time. It's fine though, because that's actually why he's so funny. Alistair adds a lot of mystery to the show, keeping me invested, like who owns his soul? What's the deal he made? What's his intentions with Charlie, and why did he make a deal with her? Same thing with Vox. He's a great menacing villain with an amazing design, and I'm intrigued to learn more about his story with Alistair, especially in the upcoming season 2, which is said to feature him as the main villain. There's tons of other great characters in here too, but those are my personal favorites. Next thing that makes the show so enjoyable for me is the uniqueness of the concept, art style, and designs. Like I said before, this is something that a lot of people see as an instant turn-off, and that's perfectly valid. For me though, I love how recognizable the art style is, and how much it stands out. Like I said, it made me drawn to it in the first place. The designs feel like there's actual thought behind every detail, and while this can lead to many designs being overbearing, I kinda like that. The concept as well, Lucifer's daughter trying to turn those punished to hell into redeemed people, eventually getting them into heaven, that's just something I thought I would have seen before because of how much of an amazing concept it is, but I haven't, and I love it. This kind of goes with the art style as well, but I love the setting. The way hell is portrayed in the show is awesome. There's so much thought put into it, from the predatory scammers and over-abused sex workers, to war criminals and constant violence, plus the idea that sinners can die but just respawn encourages the use of violence to these sinners. It makes their problems worse. Everything's encouraged, making it harder to change when there's so much temptation around you, and I think that's an awesome choice that I haven't seen many people talk about. Even mini choices like Alistair having a radio effect over his voice, Sir Pentious being a literal snake because he was originally a snake before being converted, Alistair's smile being there because he can't stop, we've seen it stitched up when he makes a deal, stuff like that, it just adds extra charm to it. Next, we got the music. Obviously, this show's a musical with 2 songs in each episode, and from what I heard, it's going to increase in the next seasons with the amount of songs in each episode. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan of musicals. There are a few I like The Lorax. Shut up, it's funny. I know it's not that amazing, but it's so funny. Just leave me alone. But overall, musicals just aren't for me. That's why I found it so surprising that I was enjoying Hazbin Hotel, and even looking forward to the songs on rewatch. The main reason for this is that these songs are actually good. Nowadays, I don't listen to it as much, but I definitely do go back to it every once in a while, and I'd listen to them outside the show, unironically. That's how good most of them are. In fact, in this and a lot of my other videos, I have lo-fi remixes of Hazbin songs in the background. Let me know if you recognize which ones they are. Shout out to Death Zach for making these, by the way. Carried so many of my videos by how good they are. To add to this section, I'm going to give a mini ranking of every song in Hazbin Hotel Season 1. Skip to this timestamp to skip this ranking and get back to the actual point of the video. At 16, we have the Charlie and Vaggie More Than Anything version. It's just really short, it doesn't have a big impact, but it's kinda sweet, I guess. At 15, I have Welcome to Heaven. It's not great, but St. Peter's kinda funny, and Emily hits some good notes sometimes, I guess. At 14, I put Happy Day in Hell. It's the first one we see, and of course, Charlie's voice is amazing for singing, it's kind of her whole thing, just nothing super stand out about it. At 13, I have Whatever It Takes. Vaggie especially has a beautiful singing voice, and it's a shame we don't really hear it outside of this song, and of course, the More Than Anything version, which I already established I'm not a big fan of. It's nice, but again, nothing super noteworthy outside of Vaggie's voice. At 12, I have Ready for This. The beginning is solid, the ending's really good, but some parts in the middle, specifically the part I have on screen right here, don't really sound the best to me, and it kinda just switches up a bunch. At 11, I have It Starts With Sorry. Honestly, I love Pentious' singing. Charlie too, obviously, and a lot of people have this in their bottom 2, which I don't get. Super underrated, love this song. At 10, I have You Didn't Know. I'm gonna be for real, this song is completely carried by Luton Adams' part. This is one of my favorite parts of any Hazbin song, and I hate how short it lasts. If you've heard it, you know what I'm talking about. I can't play it because copyright, but it's great. At 9, I have More Than Anything. A really sweet song between Lucifer and Charlie. As much as I think this plot point of Lucifer being absent should have lasted longer, this isn't a half bad way to end it. At 8, I have Out for Love. Carmilla does a great job, only problem is it's too short. At 7, I have Stayed Gone. I know this might be low for a lot of people, and I love this song too, but I think there are some others that are better, even if Vox is one of my favorite characters. At 6, I have Finale. It's a great way to end the season, and the part with the V's is again one of my favorite parts in any Hazbin song, which just barely pushes it above Stayed Gone. At 5, I have Hell's Greatest Dad. Again, might be low for some people, I love this song, but I do think Lucifer's part sweeps Alistair's. No complaints here though. 4, I put Respectless. Velvet honestly just does so good in this song. I love the beat, I love the singing, it's just amazing. At 3, I have Loser Baby. A lot of people's number 1, I know. The message behind this is what actually boosts it up. Because while it does sound good, I wouldn't put it above Respectless if it weren't for the symbolism behind it and what it means for Angel and Husk, and their similar stories. Love it. At 2, I have Poison. Originally, this was my favorite. I'm not usually the biggest pop fan, but this was definitely an exception. I love Angel's performance, and the chorus was peak. Finally, at number 1, I have Hell Is Forever. I love the rock, Adam's voice is great, the beat and guitar are amazing. Okay, now that that mini section's over, let's get back to the actual point of the video. The final thing I want to go over in this section is how it goes over adult topics, relating to a lot of people. For example, let's talk about angel dust. A lot of people feel like they're in some sort of position that they don't want to be in, that they can't get out of. With Angel, it's his sole contract with Valentino, but for others it may be something as simple as a relationship or a job, but that doesn't stop it from hitting the same. Pensious, about people who are too scared to make meaningful decisions and move forward. That anxiety is something I'm sure we can all relate to. I know I can. Vaggy, having a past you're not proud of, or something in the past you wish you could change, and many, many more. This is one of the biggest reasons I think a lot of people gravitate towards Hazbin Hotel. This relatability, something that people can relate to and feel understood, means a lot more than you may realize. Me personally, like I said, I gravitate towards Pensious. I have anxiety problems, and while originally I just liked him for his goofy personality, nowadays I see myself in him, and that means something. Let me tell you an example before transitioning into what I'm gonna say. As someone who really enjoyed Invincible and is a big fan of both shows, this was sad to see. I know for many it's a joke, but basically there's been a meme going around where people hate on Hazbin Hotel because it's quote-unquote taking the budget from Invincible. This is attributed to the sometimes subpar animation of the show, especially in season 2. Sure, I don't have a problem with the joke, but there are genuinely some people upset that Hazbin Hotel has funding because they want to give it to Invincible. Look at it logically. Jeff Bezos has more than enough money to fund both of these shows. Stop pretending like this show specifically is the reason Invincible doesn't have great animation on occasions. Even then, most of the time in season 3, it's pretty good, and episode 8 especially has amazing animation. I think you guys need to calm down, and also calm down on the Invincible animation, because I swear it's not that bad. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say people hate just to hate. This is one example, and honestly, it's a joke example. I know a lot of people are joking when they say this, but it's the best way I could portray it, giving an example. If you're a fan of Hazbin Hotel, there's a good chance you'll be mocked, hated on, and made fun of for just liking the show. Granted, a lot of this is in Instagram Reels, which is, well, not the best place to find good comment sections, let's be real, but you get the idea. Be happy for the Hazbin fans. Don't put one show down because of something you don't like. And if you see a Hazbin fan on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, or anywhere, don't bother them because of whatever reason, even if it is like one of the cringiest things you've ever seen. Hopefully this video has showed you that it's okay to find enjoyment in flawed media, because this isn't just about Hazbin Hotel. This can apply to any show. The video is getting a little long. Let's wrap it up. So, Hazbin Hotel. Flawed, yes. Does that mean you can't enjoy it or have it as one of your favorite shows? Hell no. If you love this, love it with pride, and don't listen to what the online reviewers or rage baiters in the comment section tell you. Love what you love, and know that there's nothing wrong with it. If someone ever asks you why you like Hazbin despite all the flaws in it, or any show with questionable writing choices, do me a favor and send this video over to them. It'd be greatly appreciated. Because this video, while made for Hazbin Hotel, like I said, can be applied to any show, game, movie, song, or whatever you love that isn't seen as good by the critics. Again, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It'd mean the world to me. Leave a comment telling me why you love the show and if I got the reason spot on. Everyone's opinion matters, and it's nice to hear ones that aren't my own. With that all being said, feel free to watch any of the other videos I have on my channel. I'm sure you'll find something for you. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you there. Bye.